Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today you join us at Ruan Lanihorne. Our walk today is taken from Roseland Walks. It's walk 17, Ruan Lanihorne to Lamorrin Woods and Tregenna. We're in Ruan Lanihorne. Not in many guidebooks. It's off the beaten track. It's gloriously country rural feel about it. Fantastic pub. We'll have a wander around later. Ruan Lanihorne is south of Truro, just as you start at the top of the Roseland Peninsula. So the book suggests that you can park here where that silver car is, opposite one of these properties, hillside and salting.
Why are we doing this walk today then, Sarah, in the middle of February?
Two reasons. The book says that it's a lane walk. We want to find out, A, is a lane walk interesting? Can you actually have a really good walk without crossing fields? Also, it's been really wet, so we don't really want to cross fields, so let's find out.
Yeah,
okay?
So it's our favourite walk named after a lady.
What?
A lane.
We've just walked down from the church, turned right, and look at this. This is a creek of the River Fal. Once they used to bring up boats and everything here. Apparently the book tells us silt was taken from the river, turned into bricks here. Some wonderful reeds here now. Always feels better when you can see some signs of spring. He wasn't meant to go up that road, he's just having a bit of geek. So the silted up riverbed, the marshland, is just there. It's about a foot and a half lower than the road. So although the road is quite damp, a bit of water on it, they've got plenty of these drains that just allow the water to feed into the marshland. So hopefully we won't be wading. Oh! And that was a pheasant! Is this where it's really good for ornithologists?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, because this is like a nature reserve now, isn't it?
What are you doing?
Twitcher.
Is that true?
I think a twitch is more to do with your face rather than shaking all over.
No disrespect to anybody intended. Don't do it again.
Alright.
Sometimes you just can't take him anywhere, can you? There's so many different bird calls. I'm used to garden bird calls. There's some gorgeous looking birds over there. They've got the most wonderful red necks.
My junior bird spotting book from 1978.
Ladybird book.
And yeah, they are red-necked grebes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to Google it.
Brilliant. I'll see if I can get a picture to slot in here beside your face.
I think now there might be ducks.
You sound a bit quacker as you do. Something I've noticed about this walk already is how quiet it is. I can hear the wind, I can hear my breath, I can hear our footsteps. But there's no traffic, there's no planes, there's hardly any people. Through the trees, just glimpse a beautiful old bridge. Set bridge. Let's go and take a closer look. I can hear the water tumbling. Perhaps there's some sort of weir. It looks quite fast flowing. So let's go and have a look.
River Fowl years ago. It actually went inland a lot more, but it got silted up because of the mining waste and China clay waste. And I think that's what we can see here, because it's very white.
Found an old picture online, didn't you?
1910 of Set Bridge here over the River Ruan.
And we're trying to marry up the same image, aren't we?
Pretty much. I don't think it's changed very much.
No, nor do I. It's been there centuries, hasn't it? What a beautiful old arch bridge. I know that a lot of us don't like winter. See the trees all bare. It's actually a chance to see the architecture and structure of them. They are really magnificent. Maybe a bit grey and brown and drab, but they have their own kind of beauty. And I can hear so many different bird calls. It's amazing. Just taking a breather, haven't we?
Yeah, I just noticed we're obviously on a road. You can tell it's a very quiet road because you can see where the car tracks have been coming down the sides, but in the middle here, I'm always fascinated in the middle with the things that are left behind. It's the old nuts and the husks that would have dropped down in the autumn last year.
Sweet chestnuts, aren't they?
Yeah, just slowly decomposing.
I bet a squirrel had a bit of a feast. You can just imagine him sat here, couldn't you? In the middle of this country lane, having a wonderful feast.
Stocking up for the winter.
Yeah. So the book does tell us that we will be walking along some of the quietest lanes in Cornwall. So if that middle section is anything to go by, you don't get a lot of traffic. And to be honest, we've seen 2 cars. We've walked about a mile so far. In fact, you could almost have the dog off the lead. It's so quiet. We've come to a junction.
T-junction. Not many walk instructions today. We need to turn left. Signposted to St Michael Penkibble.
So the road's a little bit muddy.
It's pretty good, don't it?
But you'd rather have the road than that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, today I would, yeah.
So I know that when we walk over fields and you follow footpaths, you see bits that you wouldn't normally see. But I think there is a limit, for me anyway, as to just how dirty and muddy I'm prepared to get. And that's beyond it. This is the tiny little hamlet of Lanihorne. Let's just have a little look in here. This church is normally shut, but it has got the most gorgeous little churchyard. And I think I saw some snowdrops and some camellias. And even some primroses. Spring is on the way. So have you noticed there's no bell tower with the church?
It's separate. It's at the bottom of the graveyard. Shall I show you?
Yeah.
Come on. It's this little building here. Just about make the bell out.
You can see it from in there. Well, let's have a look.
It's quite dark, so I don't know if it will come out on camera, but we'll have a look.
We'll give it a try. So Lanihorne Church has fallen into disrepair before, hasn't it?
Well, I've been doing a little bit of research on it, so I think it was Lord Falmouth back in the 1850s, 1860s, and spent quite a lot of money having this sort of restored, and they put new stained glass windows in. But it's such a quiet and remote church. I think it's only open once a month for an evening service.
Let's hope that's enough to keep it going.
Yeah,
then.
we can't go in to have a look, but it's supposed to have the most ornate stained glass windows inside.
Oh, what a shame. Well, if you get to have a look inside, you're very lucky. Come on, let's go in with our walk now. This part of Cornwall is really off the beaten track. And without this book today, I would never have come to Ruan Lanihorne, let alone found Lanihorne Church. It is such a joy to find somewhere so remote, beautiful. So this is a good time to explain that this area of the Roseland, there's a very large estate called Tregothnan, and that has been the home of the Boscawen family for centuries. Something like 1335, I think, the first Boscawen came here through marriage, and that family was then made Viscount Falmouth or Lord Falmouth, and it's still the case today. So we're actually walking through a lot of Tregothnan land, and that's why partly it's so quiet, isn't it?
They're famous for their teas, aren't they? Tregothnan
yeah,
teas.
which is made from camellia leaves, which that plant does extremely well down in Cornwall because we've got a slightly acid soil, got a milder climate. So tea is just the tips of a particular variety of the camellia species.
Good, nice with some scones.
Yes, cream tea. Oh, got them started now, haven't we?
Isn't this pile of logs here, Sarah?
Yeah.
Reminds me of a story. I was out the other day and I was got chatting to a lumberjack. He'd been really busy, been working all year. And I said to him, do you know how many trees you've chopped down this year? And he said, yeah, I do actually, 1,824. I said, God, that's really impressive. And he said, yeah, I know, I've been really busy. I said, no, it's really impressive that you've cut down exactly 1,824 trees this year. How do you know that? He said, it's obvious, I keep a log.
Boom. That's quite good actually. Keep a log. Oh dear. I wonder where that was going. So we've been heading away from the creek for quite a while, and we've come to a signpost. So far the walk's been pretty flat, the odd rise and fall, but the book notes that there's a steep climb here, so it'll be interesting to see just how steep, won't it? Puffing.
Oh, it's quite steep.
Reminds me of Talon Bay.
Talon Bay.
Have you seen up there? It's steep.
It's a bit steep, come on.
Hello baby. I think this old barn might be in need of some timely repairs. Get rid of that ivy for a start. Imagine converting that and waking up to that with a view every morning. Could we salvage this, Andrew? Ooh! Look at the colonnades on that. Wow, that is some old barn, isn't it? New roof, windows.
Cost you?
Yeah. Wow, imagine a glass wall of windows behind that colonnade. You'd have a fantastic house, wouldn't you? So you might think I'm a bit mad now. I quite like the smell of a farmyard. That haylage smell, the molasses that they feed the cattle and stuff. Not necessarily what comes out the other end, but definitely that kind of country, earthy smell. Quite nice, really. So now we're going to drop down, follow this road back to the signpost that took us towards St Michael Penkivel, where we're going to take a left back to Ruan Lanihorne. So just coming back into the village now, we're going to have a look at the church here. It's really old, and there's meant to be an old tomb. I think Andrew was muttering something about that.
Oh yes. Corner. Oh, I know about this.
Oh.
It's in the book, or one of our books. A coffin stone 700 years old has on it still clear the portrait of a priest under a canopy. He is holding a book to his breast. That's right, he's clutching a book, isn't he, with his hands here. It's in the sundial up here. It's 1743 that sundial dates from. It tells me one really interesting fact. When that was put up in 1743, do you know what they called it?
No.
Well, they called it a sundial.
Right.
Right. With February 2020.
Yeah.
Do you know what I call it?
No.
A dial.
Finally, Andrew, mudometer.
Odometer?
Yes.
Well, I'm not too bad. I'm a little bit muddy. 3 out of 10.
Dog's not too bad either. I think that's mainly water. Hello. Our walk today is taken from Roseland Walks, 20 circular rambles on Cornwall's stunning peninsula. All profits from the sale of this book are donated to the Air Ambulance Appeal, and you can buy it at the Idle Rocks Hotel website. I'll put the link in the description for you. It's walk 17, Ruan Lanihorne to Lomorin Woods and Tregenna, 5.2 miles, takes 2 hours 10 minutes approximately. So today's walk started at Ruan Lanihorne. We go out to the bridge, beautiful bridge, we cross the stream at the head of the creek, and then we start doing this loop, go down to Lomorin, where there's a fantastic little church, although you can't go in it. It's an exquisite little church, and through the woods, up a steep climb to Tregenna, and then we retrace our steps from this point back to Ruan Lanihorne. So our walk today started in Ruan Lanihorne. The reason we chose it was that we didn't have to wade through mud. We've had a bit of rain.
Yeah, it's all on quiet little lanes, and we've never been here before. It's a fantastic place to come and explore. 2 churches along the way, creekside, farmland, views, you've got everything, even though it's on lanes. So I think it ticks all the boxes. Yeah, I found a beautiful bridge there as well, didn't we?
So the instructions are great, the map is perfect. There's just nothing to fault about it. What are you going to give it?
Got to be a 10 out of 10.
I'm afraid so. I think it's another 10 out of 10.
Afraid so? 10 out of 10, brilliant.
To help us grow our channel, please subscribe and consider supporting us on Patreon.